Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Star Wars The Bad Batch. This is Season 1, Episode 2, titled Cut and Run. And yeah, they are kind of on the run right now, the Bad Batch. They took Omega with them, but not Crosshair.
And he knows how they operate, so he will be helpful for the Empire to track them down, probably. But,
oh yeah.
And this time it's only 25 minutes, so let's see what they can get in 25 minutes. I'm just looking forward to some more Star Wars.
Yes. More Star Wars is always good. And as you said, 25 minutes. But I really enjoyed, having that 70-minute premiere.
That was a great start for it. And yeah. I go into this Star Wars thing again. It felt good. I even had a discussion with one of my men at work about it, and I said it was Star Wars, and he said it's a cartoon, and I said it was Star Wars, and to cut the story short, we needed the spring cleaning of the latrine anyway, so he will agree with me that it's Star Wars. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, you're right, and I know there are definitely some people out there who might even if they are very much into Star Wars and they like the movies, they will look at something like The Bad Batch or Clone Wars and Rebels that came before it and be of the mind that, because it's animated, it must be primarily aimed more towards kids than even all the other stuff. And some of the time, yes, like we even commented on it last time that there is like the battle intro, droids and the intro with the narrator, that it is more kid-friendly in a way, but they still get those same themes in there, and I would still argue that it is for people, children of all ages. Yeah, exactly.
And I like it for just being Star Wars. I like the whole universe. I can dive into the universe, Star Wars universe, and not worry about this part of the world or the real life. And I enjoy that, to dive into another world and be there. And it's the cartoon, but I think it's made so well that I don't even notice that much anymore. It's a Star Wars story for me.
Yeah. And it is great escapism, as you said. And that is definitely something that Star Wars can do, and that these sci-fi fantasy franchises, they can do. They can provide us with this sort of escapism while still telling good stories that can be related to what we do and how we live life in the real world. And I do enjoy that a lot.
And I'm just a simple man making my way through the galaxy. And I enjoy it when it's easy to see who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, and the whole discussion of how to behave decently, and at the same time, it's entertaining. So
it's very.
I enjoy it very much.
Very applicable themes. But just returning to what's going on in the story right now, and with, you mentioned Crosshair, he's going to be a big asset for the Empire when they're going to track down the Bad Batch, because he knows how they operate. And even if you just listen to the guy, just the way that he talks, and I know it's the same voice actor for all of the clones, but he just sounds like a bad guy. And I think he's going to be a great antagonist. Hopefully, maybe they're going to be able to get him back at some point and render the chip useless in his head.
Or will the chip become active in some of the others? We don't know. The whole chip thing is also interesting when you think about Omega. Does he have a chip as well? I don't know.
And talking about Omega, like some people have been saying, is she force sensitive or something? Because there were a few clues there that if not force sensitive, then she is extremely intuitive, and even with someone like Crosshair, she sat down and told him that she knew what he was going to do, and it's not your fault. So where does that come from? And like, who is Omega, and how does she fit into the overall narrative?
But
with
kind
the cloning.
If she's force sensitive or trying to be a force sensitive clone, or someone cloning someone who's force sensitive, that was a lot of wrong words. Never mind. Even she's a good link up to the Mandalorian, and a whole talk about maybe cloning Palpatine, and all those thoughts about that. So
that links into the sequel trilogy, explaining a few things there. I wouldn't be mad about that, because they didn't explain a lot about how Palpatine came back and that whole cloning thing in The Rise of Skywalker.
That was rushed.
But as we've mentioned before, like Dave and the people working on these series, they are very good at filling the gaps and some of the plot holes in the movies. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen in this second episode. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for some of the shows that we're doing. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go.
There's a lot of thoughts about the intro last time as well, with the Clone Wars Bad Batch.
Are they gonna do the same thing with the narrator this time? Or no, just jumping straight into it. Okay, so that was just to link it to the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Give us the same Clone Wars feel, yeah.
Well, this is a first. Hunter, she's a child. What are we gonna do with her?
We are coming up on Seleucami.
Seleucami, okay. Oh, and that's the first time she's gone off-world from Camino.
She's super curious.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
What is this?
That would be dirt.
It's amazing.
That's nice with some childish curiosity.
Yes, always.
So this friend of yours, what's he doing all the way out here?
Hiding. That's what deserters do.
And you trust a deserter?
Why not? We're all deserters now.
True.
That's cute. Easy, Wrecker.
What do we have here? More clones who've lost their way.
It's been a while, fellas. Echo and Omega, Cut and Sue.
Oh, it's Cut. Okay. 'Cause yeah, and we have met him before in the Clone Wars.
You talked to Rex? When? Ali passed through yesterday.
Oh,
Where'd he go? He was going on about some behavioral implant.
He must mean the inhibitor chip.
Tech, you said the regs were programmed, but you never mentioned the chip.
How else did you think it worked?
he just assumed.
Come with us.
What?
What's the purpose of this?
To have fun? Here,
Having fun.
you try.
Huh?
The Kaminoans don't create without a purpose. You all have one, so what's hers?
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Every citizen can exchange their invalid currency for Imperial credits.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to the generosity of the new Galactic Empire.
How generous, yeah.
Yeah, control the money and halfway
Control
there.
the people, yeah.
It's not just ships. They're registering people, too. Getting off planet's gonna be harder than I thought.
I'll get it.
It's past the fence. We'll get it later. Check.
What's out past the fence?
Where's Omega?
Traps?
Could be.
Or something worse. Okay. Looks like a... what are they called? Nexu?
The next shuttle leaves in a few hours. Codes or no codes, we need to be on it. Do you realize you could have been killed? Easy. She's not a soldier. You're safe. That's all that matters. Come on.
That was nicely handled.
Well, Clone Force 99 isn't the obvious choice for parents, so they probably need some schooling.
Tech, you think you can forge some chain codes? I only learned of them moments ago, but yes, do it. We're getting Cut, Sue, and the kids on that shuttle.
Yeah, what's the significance of, like, the headpiece that she's wearing?
When you leave Seleucami, I want Omega to go with you. You
Oh.
two can give us something that we can't.
Is that what you really want?
It's what she needs.
Something's gonna happen that's gonna make that an impossibility for sure.
You're suggesting we call the authorities and have them seize our ship?
That is exactly what I am saying.
You did what? Attack!
We'll meet you at the spaceport with the chain codes. I have this under control.
There's one big problem. Omega's on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, as you said.
I think it's a good plan, Ted.
Go to the security kiosk, scomp in, copy the data, and grab the blank discs for me to program.
Roger that.
Would have been easier if they had some regular clone armor.
Yeah.
But I do love the Bad Batch armor. The look of it.
Someone also mentioned in comments, I think, about how the clones now becomes more and more white. No more insignia and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff on the armor. So comes more and more like stormtroopers, all white, all alike.
Yeah.
Clone troopers are probably also getting some target practice so they can learn to miss like real stormtroopers.
I don't like this.
Everything will be okay.
Hurry up. We need those chain codes to get them on the shuttle, or we're going to have to blast our way out of here.
I can slip through security unnoticed and deliver the discs to you momentarily.
Sure you can.
Or Omega can do that. Yep.
Where'd the discs go? And where's Omega?
Found her.
The chain codes are en route. With Omega. By herself? You let her go by herself? Well, we didn't let her go. She ran off on her own. Hey, who are you? You don't belong here. I've got a situation to face.
Uh-oh. Shut up.
They're waiting for you at the dock. Better get going. Show me your chain code, citizen. Sure, I got it right here. Oh, right. Must be in this hand.
Knew he was gonna do that.
Yeah.
I can't risk it. We have to find another way out.
I'm here. Tech accidentally made 5 discs instead of 4.
You didn't tell her?
Tell me what?
You need a family, kid. They're good people. They'll give you the life you deserve.
But I want to stay with you.
You have to go, Omega. It's for your own good.
Still have a feeling something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Ready?
What are we waiting for? The clamp's still magnetized. The system's not responding.
Well, that's a problem.
Move.
You can also just use brute force.
Yeah.
Rekka, you're up.
You responded to that. Rekka, she's not.
Wait for me!
Yeah, I knew it.
Is there a problem? You look like
Yeah.
reinforcements at the impound dock. Carry on.
I was thinking like someone's gonna recognize a fellow clone.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it did not really become an issue. Why did you grab a gunk droid?
Well, I always wonder what they're good for, so.
I know I made a mistake, and I have a lot to learn, but you don't have to get rid of me. I left Camino with you. This is where I want to be.
Tell you the truth, kid, I guess I've got a lot to learn too. If this is where you want to be, then this is where you'll stay.
All right.
That was a sweet episode.
Yeah, very sweet. A little
About-
detour there to Seleucumai and meeting up with some people that we've seen before. And then starting the whole thing with, yeah, they have a kid with them. How are they going to handle that?
something about parenting and and that they're probably not
soldiers.
not very well suited for parenting a small girl, but
No,
a lot of focus on Omega, so she's gonna be the lead star somewhere along the way, I think.
Yeah. And I thought it made very much sense that she stuck around and she wasn't going anywhere because we just got introduced to her. There's still a lot of mysteries connected to like her origin and her purpose, her abilities. And we also got some of the same stuff that people really responded well to with The Mandalorian, because that was also a case of, a warrior picking up a child and having to acclimatize to that situation and figure out, how am I going to handle this, and becoming sort of a parent figure. So
kind of the same setup.
Yeah, kind of the same setup, but with a child that can actually speak this time around. We don't know about the Force ability, whether she's got that or not yet. But yeah, they're using some of the same story beats in that way.
And it worked well with The Mandalorian, so why not? And it's a sweet story.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was definitely not as serious in a lot of ways as the previous one, where we really got started off, and it's starting with the order, like Order 66, and what's going on Kamino. Jedi, they're dying, like that is more serious stuff. And of course they did get into just some fighting here and there in this episode, but it was more focused on Omega and the story and being parents, and also clones now, when they have deserted, okay, how are they going to go about it? What's the best way to kind of disappear in the galaxy? And getting some good advice there from Cut, who has his own family and he's been doing this for a while. So yeah, some good advice that he could pass along to Hunter and the others. And I still really enjoy the interactions between the different characters in the Bad Batch and how they're all so different. And even with characters such as Tech and Echo, who are both more similar in the way that their abilities work, and they are good with Tech, but there was also some bickering going on there between the two of them.
And also I like Wrecker. He's not a bright bulb,
and then we have Wrecker,
but I like the way he's portrayed, and you need someone like that to have the banter between them.
Yeah, exactly, and create some funny moments. Uncle Wrecker, as the kids called him, and he is very much the uncle of the crew, very strong uncle who could get them out of a tough situation there in the end when Echo wasn't able to hack that thing, and he just fucking ripped it off, because he is freakishly strong.
I enjoyed that Wrecker was lifting weights with a
gonk droid, working out with a gonk droid.
And also I like the even though it was a slow, sweet episode about parenting, more or less, I like the way that Omega, when she arrived at the planet, had the sun in her eyes for the first time, touched dirt for the first time, and the whole curiosity of kids. It just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah,
I enjoy that with kids, their ability to just go wow, about just about anything.
Look at the most mundane things, such as dirt or just a small creature or a place that they've never been before, and just look at it with wonder in their eyes. Whereas people, just like we saw with the Bad Batch, they just got onto the planet, started walking, nothing special going on.
You've been conditioned in another way. Once you get older, you're conditioned in another way. So
you don't look at the world in the same way.
You just I usually, when I walk down the street, I go like this. I don't get sort of into how the lamppost or whatever looks. But kids do that. They go, wow, that's a nice color, and we should do more like that sometimes.
Sometimes just be in the now and look at, hey, we're alive. Look at our surroundings. There's some cool stuff going on here, and that that's definitely something that you get with kids. And as you said, I like that they included that with Omega, because it also really makes a lot of sense in her case, because she grew up on Kamino, which is just
quite
water
boring
planet, quite boring, and never been she's never stepped foot on like real ground,
No.
dirt.
And the whole feeling of that when you go from A to B, you're just moving from A to B. You don't really care about what's between A and B. And the whole, well, she's walking from A to B, but you're experiencing things along the way for the first time.
And it wasn't going to get like really serious right away, because we just had a lot of that in the first one. So I'm glad that they took the time to just give us something else, and that Crosshair and Tarkin, they aren't going to show up immediately and chase them. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of that throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned Rex in this episode. The fact that he was actually on Seleucami visiting Cut and the others just like a day ago. So they missed him by a day. But they're going to meet up with Rex for sure, because he's a big fan favorite, and we don't know what he's doing at this point in time exactly. Like last time we saw him chronologically, it was just at the end of the Clone Wars with Ahsoka and everything that happened with the ship there and them landing. And then the next time we see him in Rebels, he is with Gregor and Wolf, and they are just, doing their own thing, trying to stay out of it. And then, of course, he gets pulled back and pulled into the rebellion and everything that happens there. But we don't know what he's doing right now. So having him hook up with the Bad Batch at some point,
that could be great. I mean, it's a dark period. What's he doing right now? So
and is he still in contact with Ahsoka? Is she gonna pop up again? Like there are a lot of potential characters that could pop up. Even someone like Maul. I would love to see Maul again and have Sam Witwer back to voice that character, because he's he got away also at the end of the Clone Wars, and then the next time we see him, he's all of a sudden in charge of Crimson Dawn. That's what it's called. He's in charge of Crimson Dawn. So what happened in between him, escaping again and then getting back into the underworld?
In between when it comes to Maul. I really enjoy him as a bad guy. But he kind of died, got cut in half and fell down, then suddenly popped up again with legs. I mean, there's a little bit more story to it than Palpatine or the Emperor turning up at episode 9. That one I didn't like that much. Anyway, Maul is still, when I see him as a bad guy, he's a great bad guy.
Yes.
But I still have you're cut in half, dude.
Yeah. It was a bit questionable the way that they maybe brought him back. But I am still, like, personally, I'm glad that they did, because then we got so much more with the character and started using him in a way that I think makes sense to the overall story, and him popping up again and again and again. I don't mind that, but I totally get people who are like, okay, that's enough. You've done what you could with that character. But I have a feeling we might see him in this.
And he's most welcome. I mean, he's a good bad guy as well. So, and there's a good storyline on him as well. So, I don't mind him, but I still have this every now and then. Ooh,
wait,
and then I'm okay with it.
Died,
Just as last time with the narrator in the beginning, I go ooh, and then I'm okay with it. So
and they didn't do that this time around. So it was purely to link it back up with the Clone Wars and give us that feel going into it, because they were still in the Clone Wars when the episode started, and then of course it ended, and now it's something different. Now they're kind of doing their own thing with the Bad Batch and giving it its own unique style.
That was a nice way of linking up with the Clone Wars, and then burn our way to the Bad Batch, and then the narrator that sort of linked us up with the Clone Wars as well. And I don't miss him that much in the second episode, so I'm good without the narrator. So
fair enough. I think that I didn't get to mention about just the previous episode and Crosshair, because I honestly didn't really notice that much when it happened. But when he stepped out again in the end, and he had his inhibitor chip, activated, the armor that he was wearing was way more reminiscent of Death Troopers. So is he gonna become like the first Death Trooper?
Oh yeah,
I could see that happening, and then
he
him
has
training.
Lean look for it. Yeah,
a tall, lean guy, and then training some more Death Troopers to like be as good of a shot as he is, because they are better at hitting stuff than normal stormtroopers, but that's not difficult to be better at hitting stuff than than those guys. No.
I think I can do that. Back to stuff.
I kind of think I would be able to do that as well.
Also, they mentioned the inhibitor chip this time by name. And I thought they'll get some more about, well, can we move it or anything? But it just went to
Yeah, but I think they're going
thought
to
he said that, but
get more into it. Yeah, he thought it was a given that, well, that's how it works, what I explained to you earlier. I thought you were just going to connect the dots that, yes, there's a chip in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely going to get more into the inhibitor chip and how and why, and that's going to play into Crosshair and his story in this season as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice, sweet episode, and I'm at a point where I'm ready. Give me the next one. I mean, with some more action and stuff like that. But it was a nice, sweet episode. A little bit more about Omega and getting to know her and getting to know the Bad Batch a little bit better as people. So
and getting to link up again with Cut, who, and I only remember him from like this one episode called The Deserter in the Clone Wars, where Rex came to Seleucami and talked to Cut. I don't remember the Bad Batch meeting Cut and the children and everything. So is that a different story? Is that in some of the comics, or is this the first we hear of it? Feel free to actually tell me down in the comments, because that's a part of Star Wars lore that I'm not familiar with, if it is out there. So I was just a little bit curious about that. And the kids obviously knew Wrecker and called him Uncle, as we already mentioned. But it was nice to see those characters again, at least. And it ended in a way where they got away, and he can still be a family man and not get dragged into whatever's going on in the galaxy.
And at the same time, thank you for the nice comments and all that. That's very nice, and getting some more background story and theorizing in the comments. That's great. So,
please keep doing that.
Yeah,
definitely. And now, even though we are ready for the next episode, we're gonna have to wait a whole week. Unfortunately, it was only this week that we got 2 episodes, and I think they only did that because they wanted to premiere an episode on May the 4th.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be every Friday.
They could have done one on Revenge of the 5th as well. So
Yeah.
But
just
anyway.
Each day, every day of the week. Just keep going. But anyway, we're going to have to wait a week, but that's fine. It's something that I don't mind, because it gives us something to look forward to each and every week.
And I think it's also better for me, because binging a series like that, and then I'm running behind on so many other things. So it's good for me to watch one, let it marinate for a while, and I'm ready for the next one.
Space it out, yeah.
I'm a Flow TV guy. Look at my face. I'm old enough for that, yeah.
But that's going to do it for this reaction and review of Star Wars The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 2, Cut and Run. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. May the Force be with you always.